Yo, what is up, guys? So, we are getting closer to real Yu-Gi-Oh! And what I mean by real Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, this is not the exact example, but this is something that someone posted that I actually was covering a long time ago, and I've been following this guy. And this guy's been trying to make real-life Yu-Gi-Oh! For a thing called the HoloLens, which is kind of like a Microsoft's version of virtual reality, but it's something that you can see just in real life versus something that you would see by just having a screen generate the entire background. Like, it almost reminds me kind of Pokemon Go, but you don't exactly just see it on your phone. That was something that was iterated in an earlier version of General Kid's thing. But anyways, I'll get more into like what Konami's trying to do and what this guy has done, because what this guy has done is something that, I mean, this guy's been working on this thing for years. But anyways, the article is titled "Konami Staff Develop Powerful Image Recognition Technology," and if you want the source, I'll link the original source down below, but it's all in Japanese, and you guys are probably like, dude, just give me like the information on it. But what's strange is Konami's actually trying to develop a software that's going to be able to recognize cards. I'm going to go ahead and kind of read the article so you guys can kind of get some context of what I'm talking about. So anyways, it's pretty much summing up over here that they're trying to distinguish over 9,000 different Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And it says 2 developers held a conference on an AI-based image recognition system that can distinguish over 9,000 different Yu-Gi-Oh cards held on August 23rd, which just recently happened. But anyways, pretty much to really sum it up, they were trying to make it so you can have a card be basically scanned in some type of a new game that they're working on. It says, the company has developed image recognition system that can distinguish the paper cards using the official Yu-Gi-Oh card game where you can collect and play with various cards. The current game, which is what they're working on, is where you can play with another using physical cards in the real world, but our goal was to propose a new way of playing the game, one that can be compatible with computer games in the future. So, there was already a game like this. If anyone remembers, it was for the PlayStation Eye, which is something that really never caught on. But basically, you would have your cards, and you would play with your physical cards. Now, with a lot of these card games that use scanning as far as like seeing the image, what stops someone from printing them out? That's kind of my question. And what stops someone else from letting someone else borrow the card to scan it into their account and then let a friend borrow it? So you guys remember, I did a video where I worked with Activision for a game called Skylanders Battlecast, and that was a game where you would have these cards, and you would have the physical card, and you'd put them inside of your tablet's like viewfinder or your smartphone, and basically what it would do is kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon Go. Let me go ahead and show you guys like an example. This is taken from General Kid. I'll link all of his stuff because I've been following this guy for this because I'm interested to see what this guy eventually decides to make. So basically what he has done, I'm just going to mute it, but basically this is like Pokemon Go, where you don't see the card in 3D in real life, but like on your phone or like any like tablet device, you'd be able to see a 3D rendition of the card, right? Which is, again, closer to Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life. What they're trying to do here, I guess, is to combine the physical cards with a computer game. It would be super cool if how, you know, the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game would work is if you would buy a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack in the physical world, like we normally do, to be able to enter like a code where you can redeem a pack online. There are other card games that do this, and that would be really cool. And I'm not talking about Duel Links, although Duel Links would actually profit a lot by doing that if they said, oh, if you buy a pack of cards in real life, you get a code to get a pack in Duel Links. That would increase the sales of Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot because, one, you would have people that would cross over that would buy packs anyways, and then now they can get those packs, or the codes, and then they would have access to Duel Links cards, which would mean that they would invest more into Duel Links, and it also works vice versa. The Duel Links players might just go buy a physical pack, because like, why do I spend real money when I can spend real money, get physical cards, and I can get the other cards? It's a win-win. That's the way I personally see it. You can get people to cross over much easier. It's a much easier transition. But what is this new game? That's my real question. They haven't announced anything as far as I'm aware of. Konami used to send me like these PR little packages and they'd have notes on like what's coming out. Most of the stuff was actually announced or got leaked technically on other sites like the organization much earlier anyways. But I think it would be kind of cool, and I want your guys' thoughts on any of the stuff I'm talking about down below. But I feel like the problem that I have with using physical cards is why not just have a computer game, right? I know we already have Duel Links and we can download that on Steam, but why not just have like an official Yu-Gi-Oh card game like the Decade Duels or 5Ds or what's it, Legacy of the Duelist? Why can't we just get that as an updated the game as a service basically rather than like a game every year? That would be really cool. But I just don't really see the point in this, and I think that there's going to be a lot of problems if they use like cameras, because obviously whatever image recognition system that they implement, right? I remember people were talking about just having Yu-Gi-Oh like in like the Vive. Or like, you know, any like virtual reality system. And I feel like those are very expensive. Those are like $500+ minimum. That's a little bit of a hefty investment. And if your new game is going to require like a special camera for recognition, I mean, I guess you could maybe use a webcam. I don't know what exactly it entails, but I feel like you have a lot of problems with people like bootlegging stuff. But nonetheless, it's cool to see that they're trying to get Yu-Gi-Oh to be closer to, again, real life Yu-Gi-Oh. And like I said, I'll link these. I think this was the most recent one that this guy has uploaded. But basically, it's, again, showing off the cards. And now he's able to kind of move the cards. This is using the Microsoft HoloLens, which is, again, we're talking hundreds of dollars, which most people won't be interested in investing. But this would maybe give you an idea of what exactly is going on. And this guy has been working on this for years. So, KONAMI, yo, hit this guy up. I mean, this guy already has... you know, perhaps technology that you guys might be interested in. You guys are seeing both of the monsters over there. Now, there is technically, you know, so many cards. One problem that I can see with the camera already is trying to recognize so many different cards with the pendulum zones and stuff. That's going to be just such a nightmare to deal with as far as image recognition. Like, it's easy to determine one card, but when you have, like, 10, 15 cards on the board and the graveyard, like, that's just asking for, like, too much. That's the way I see it, okay? But anyways, it says as of the 20th anniversary, there's over 9,000 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, to try to build this in, and also another problem I see with Yu-Gi-Oh cards is depending on the angle that you look at, it could kind of not be easy for it to register. I think this is absolutely a nightmare. But they are getting faster. So originally it says the original system required 20 days of the machine trying to learn to process the 9,000 cards, right? And it only had a 50% accurate rate. But now they're doing semi-transparent images. So what this makes me think is on the actual Yu-Gi-Oh card. Let me just grab a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I mean, not that it really matters too much. But on the actual Yu-Gi-Oh card, apparently what they're going to try to do is add a semi-transparent image. So maybe there's a special code that's on it, or a certain, like, I don't want to say QR code, because I did say, like, QR codes before. But there's a certain, like, maybe, like, a text or something. Or if you guys remember, on the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, over in the bottom right, there's a, you probably won't be able to see this. Actually, I don't know, my webcam is pretty decent. But there's a small, like, set of, I don't know, like 7 to 8 codes. You used to be able to enter these on some of the older Yu-Gi-Oh video games, and you would unlock the card, which obviously, that was a cool mechanic. I think it was Eterno's Duelist Soul, if any of you guys played that on Game Boy Advance. That was something that did technically exist, and I think that that would be really cool if you could enter these codes. But there's a problem with this, right? All the codes, like, if someone had the exact same copy of this card, the code is exactly the same. So that is another, like, problem with, of course, people sharing cards. And, like, if this new Yu-Gi-Oh game, you scan your cards, what's to stop me from, like, scanning it and then letting my friends scan it, right? If you're doing, like, a, you know, online tournament or whatever, that would be obviously a way to, I guess, kind of exploit the system. But anyways, they actually made the machine get a little bit better. But anyways, it says the semi-transparent images were surprisingly efficient. The time required for the machine learning algorithm was reduced from 20 days to just 4 to 5 with an accuracy nearing 100%. I don't know why they didn't just say 99%. I mean, that would make more sense to me. But it says these semi-transparent card images are composited together and hard to distinguish with the naked eye. But it seems from the computer's viewpoint, this method actuates a card's features, boosting its efficiency when it comes to processing the images. So what we might be getting, guys, is future Yu-Gi-Oh cards that have something. This is just my guess, by the way. It didn't say this in the article. I did try the translation. This translation is much better. It basically sums up the story anyways. But it says, what Konami plans to use this advanced new recognition software for has yet to be announced. We will report if further developments and applications of the software becomes apparent. So they're still working on it. I don't understand really why they're developing it. This is from my standpoint. I want your guys' feedback on this. Do you guys actually want like a Yu-Gi-Oh game where you would have, because obviously you have to buy the camera or a camera. You might have to have a webcam. That's just so much work. And again, there was a PlayStation game that tried to do this and it failed. But basically, you would have like a webcam and you would like place your cards on like the board. I almost remember like what is it? Duelist of the Roses, right? That would be kind of cool too, where you have like this giant grid and you would move these cards. However, if you wanted to play this, I actually made a video on this, which was Duelist of the Roses, like an updated version of it. It's for a game called like it's on Steam. It's like something about like board games or like virtual board games. But someone like made it, and the thing is, it's just not that popular. And on top of that, that's a free like DLC for that game, anyways. So I just don't think that there is any interest, and I don't really know why they're developing it. For me, I think that, you know, developing a new game, that's definitely cool. I like where they're going with that. But to use this technology, one, it's too expensive for not only the development of something like this, but in addition to that, it also makes it much more costly for your consumers, because they're going to have to buy, obviously, a HoloLens, those are several $100s. HTC Vive, those are several $100s. Phones, you can maybe try that. Like, you know, phones could be able to, like, recognize the software. But again, what it is a special coating on the cards, and I think that that's where it's going. Because I don't think they would want people to buy a camera. That's just too costly. But I feel like it's too gimmicky. I would rather just play Yu-Gi-Oh! On Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or a Dueling Book. Why would I want to sit there with my cards and try to place them? And, like, there's a lot of openness to people cheating, right? Like, they would slide in and out cards. I don't know. Like, this whole opens up just so many more problems than just make a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. Make it like Hearthstone, where it's free to download, and you know, kind of like Duel Links, but like an actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, like an official one. I think that that's just a much better idea than trying to make these things. Because what they're doing, guys, and this is just my thoughts on it, is they're doing a semi-transparent image on the newer Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Obviously, the older ones, they're not going to be like, yo, send us all your Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, mail them to us, we're going to scan them and put the new printing on them so you guys can play with them in your game. That's not realistic. What's realistically going to more than likely happening is they're trying to make it so there's a special coating on newer Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and you can more than likely try to scan them into the game. My guess is you can only scan them once, but at that point, that opens up another door to trading in Yu-Gi-Oh! You're gonna, like, when you trade physical cards, like you go to a YCS or a Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals, you're gonna be like, yo, did you scan your card yet? Like, I don't know. It's just too many problems. That's the way I see it, but good luck with it. I hope that this comes out and it's really cool. But they are developing it, you know. The staff is hard at work, I guess, doing image recognition technology. But for what, we don't know yet, but I think we can all assume that they're trying to make it so the physical cards can be scanned into a new game. But anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Let me know what you thought of it. And if you guys want like more information on like the HoloLens one, I'll link it down below. This guy actually, like I said, he's been working on it for a really long time. So I gotta give General Kid a shout out because, you know, he was, I guess, I don't know if he was the first one to really like make a really good one, because there's a lot of these kinds of things, but I think his was definitely the best as far as I was aware of. But yo, Konami, hit that guy up though. Legitimately, he could probably speed up your process by a lot. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section or anything that we talked about in this video down below. I think it's interesting, but I just don't see it being realistic. Just make a Yu-Gi-Oh! Hearthstone. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. This one is pretty interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. And I'm out.